Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. And today from the big box of eBay love, I've got the old Hasegawa 172 scale Kitty Hawk. I believe this was a new tool from 1977, and this particular boxing is from 1981. Of course, I'll put the scale mates up for you so you can kind of get an idea of the lineage of this particular kit. But yeah, this one has some tape on one side, and it looks like it got folded over. Yeah, a little bit on the other, but that's okay. Anyways, we got the Curtis Mk.1A Kitty Hawk Royal Air Force Fighter. Very impressive box art as per the usual. That's something it seems like is a running theme with most of these older kits. Is they're literally the box art is some really awesome looking painted artwork from actually some pretty famous artists, which to me is pretty awesome. First long side here, manufactured by Hasegawa. Looks like there could be two different versions in here. One for the Royal Air Force as in the front, and then looks like we've got the U.S. Army Air Force B009. I'm not sure what that means there. I don't know if that's the kit number or not. Kit number is actually B009 350. So yeah, B9 is probably just a shorter version of it. Other long end, we have different aircraft that are available. We've got the FW-190 Dora, FW-190A, the Me-109E, which technically should be F-109, and the Me-109G. And it looks like this other short end here, yeah, it's going to be the exact same. Nothing on the back, of course. And then this says 2, which I don't know what exactly that might mean. Maybe it's just the two different aircraft variations that you can do. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at it. So far, with that big box of stuff that I got from eBay, I have not been disappointed in the least. Not even kinda. I'll put down in the description a link so that you guys can see that, plus all of the other kits that I've already looked at in that big lot. And of course, also, if you haven't subscribed yet, the best way to support me, if you like what you see. We're at 550 now as of me filming this, so getting pretty excited. Whoops. Alright, decals right off the bat. Oh. Yeah, look at that. So it looks like we've got another one with two complete kits, hopefully complete kits in it. I mean, I expected to have one complete kit, but looks like we've got another twofer. Okay, well, let me put this one off to the side. This one is completely unopened. Nice. Brand new example of the exact same kit, it looks like. Okay, well, let's see here. Let's take this out. We'll kind of watch to see if we have completion on this one. Alright, so let's take a look at the first sprue here. First sprue, we've got our teeny tiny little pilot. Looks like he's got a little bit of a void there right in his middle that would have to be fixed. I got one main landing gear, tail wheel. Looks like some cowl flaps. Probably the little piece behind the propeller hub. And that looks like the intake splitter that goes in the very front. Yeah, this guy right here. I still can't get over the fact of what a great deal this was from eBay. Got a little bomb, looks like a little 500-pound bomb. Spinner, not sure what that is. These are probably the bomb racks, pylons, hangers, whatever you want to call them. There's our propeller. Extremely delicate, tiny little propeller. And it looks like our canopy is right here. It's kind of jammed into this sprue. You know what, I'm not gonna... Oh, there we go. Look at the clear parts here in a second. Got ourselves a tiny little drop tank. Some more hangers. Looks like we got a control stick. Probably cockpit floor. And there's the seat and the back of the seat. Ejection pin moldings on that, of course, but if you use the pilot, you can't see those anyway. Horizontal stabilizers. And those are actually engraved panel lines. For a tooling from 1977, that's actually pretty cool. We got a bonus hair. Wheels and tires. I've really been amazed so far too, also, at how detailed a lot of these 1/72 scale kits are. That, I believe, is the very front there. Goes back behind this guy right here, the little intake. There is the other main landing gear. Not too bad. And bottom portion of the fuselage. And of course, bottom portions of the wing, more like 2/3 of the bottom of the wings. Yeah, I think those are engraved panel lines. Very cool. Port side top portion of the wing. And I do like how they do that too, as opposed to having it complete halves of the bottom. They actually have the aileron and the flap as where the seam line is, which makes it much more convenient. I can't quite put this completely together because there's a little bit of a sprue nub right there, but looks like it fits quite nicely. Yeah, this side, same idea. Yeah, it's got a little sprue nub there, so I can't check the fit, but I have a feeling the fit's probably excellent. And I believe those are main landing gear doors. I also like the fact too that they are not too thick. Let's check this. Oh, I see, that goes underneath and that goes on top. That's a pretty decent fit. Yeah, engraved panel lines. Huh. Yeah, I gotta say, so far, this, once again, looks like a fun little kit. Check out our instructions. Of course, you've got the usual information, history about the Kitty Hawk itself. Marking and painting guide. Yeah, you do have two different versions here. Sergeant Hogg, Egypt, autumn 1942. And U.S. Army Air Corps 49th Fighter Group, Lieutenant Andrew J. Reynolds, Port Darwin, Spring 1942. Painting instructions, and of course how to apply the decals. Got color callouts. You got dark earth, middle stone, khaki green, red, and rust. And number one, as per usual, starts with the cockpit, seat assembly, and the stick. Oil cooler. Okay, so now we remember what that is. And again, I probably knew what that was, but it seems like, again, I learned one thing and two things fall out of my brain. Number two, bomb assembly and tank assembly, which I would imagine, depending on which version you want to do, is what you use for that. Main wing assembly, number three. Of course, tops going on to the bottoms. Fuselage assembly. Number four. And seat fitting. Okay, so you actually put the cockpit in underneath. Number five, wing fitting. You got your tail wheel doors, bottom cowls. Yes, those were the landing gear doors. Horizontal stabilizers, and the wing goes on. Wing assembly. And propeller fitting. Propeller, the spinner, and we've got our pilot going in, and back glass, and the canopy and windscreen. Right hand side here, Kitty Hawk Mk.1A before assembling, read instructions, the usual stuff. Model colors. Cockpit assembly. Looks like there is a decal for the instrument panel. Yep. Sure is. That's nice. And painting callouts for your pilot figure. Cut off the gear covers on the dotted line. That, of course, is if you want to have the landing gear down. And reference drawing for the gear and gear cover fitting. That's always nice, so you can see what angles they're supposed to sit at. And we have a parts number and name call out. Very nice. This, on the older Hasegawa kits and some of the other manufacturers, is really nice when you're buying these kits on the third market or second market or 80th market at this point, for all I know. It's nice for making sure that your model is complete. Before I get too far ahead of myself, I almost forgot to check out the canopy and windscreen. Very nice, nice and clear. Nice and thin for a 72nd scale kit. Metal framing is not really pronounced, but then again on a 72nd scale kit it's not supposed to be. This looks like it may have a little bit of a mold artifact, or it could just be dirty. Kind of looks like it might just be dirty. Not too bad. You can see a little bit of swirlies in there from the mold process, but I'll probably polish those up before I put them on anyway. And decals for this particular kit, since there's two in here, they look a little bit yellowed, but there are tricks, of course, to fix that. I'm not going to take them out of the bag. Probably do a test decal before I commit to one version or the other, just to see if these decals will hold up. Then if that's the case, I'll do what I can to remove the yellow, maybe spray them with some clear. Make sure they won't shatter into a billion pieces as soon as they touch water. Huh, very cool. And then of course we have this whole other unopened kit. These decals look like they might be a little bit better, but they're about the same. And that's okay. There was so many extra British decals in that lot that I bought that I am sure that I can find a way to do this. Or, you know, worst case scenario, I might have to go on eBay and see what kind of decals they have for this kit. What a shame. Because everybody knows how much I just absolutely hate eBay. Yeah, not even kind of addicted to it. Especially after seeing everything I got on this for 80 bucks. Alright, so there we have it, gang. Another one in the books. Again, I can't believe that there was not only one complete kit in here, or what it looks like a complete kit, but there's two complete kits. I mean, the other one is still in the bag, so could be fairly confident that that one is going to be a complete kit. Can't tell you how awesome this whole thing has been. And while I'm here, also, I'd like to thank all of the new subscribers. Welcome to the little community that we have here that's growing. And I want to thank you all for watching, coming along on this adventure with me. It's been a blast, especially reading all the cool comments and stuff that you guys have left in my videos. It's been absolutely awesome. I have learned a ton, and I'm sure that some other people that have watched you or read your comments have also learned from it. And just the nostalgia. It's been really awesome. And I want to thank you guys again for everything. Until next time, love you all, God bless, and I will see you very soon. Happy modeling.